Well, we meet again for another day in the shop. Here we are making it work. I'm Jimmy. We're gonna spend a day fixing cars, learning things, having fun, admiring the beautiful, humid, but cool weather. It's probably about 74, 75, which is pretty cool for this time of year in the morning. Hope it's nice where you're at. We're getting some pretty good rain every day now. Yesterday it rained in the morning and it was nice all afternoon. We'll see what happens today, but we're supposed to get some serious rain every day, like measured in inches. We'll see what happens. It likes to come down in Central Florida when it decides to. In the summertime, pretty much count on it almost every day. We got a few things going on today. I think we're going to be starting on the Ferrari. That's the rumor. I also got a lady coming in for the Mitsubishi exhaust I made a short about, and I think I had my day in the shop too. It was 2022 Mitsubishi with 50,000 miles, and the exhaust has already been repaired once and that rotted out again. So we're going to put new exhaust in, and I know the parts are here. We'll see if the car shows up. Got the Escape still waiting to hear if Car Shield's going to cover anything for them. They paid $4,000 for the policy, but that doesn't guarantee they're going to cover anything. What else we got going on? Oh, we'll see. I know one thing. To find out, you got to stay tuned. So let's finish getting this place open up and get started. You guys know what time it is. It's 360 Modena time. I was out of gas out there. It wouldn't start. I had to put a splash of gas in there. I only put like a half a gallon in it because the gas we have is something Joe took out of a Dodge Ram yesterday because it was setting lean codes and there was no problems. Put new gas in it, lean codes are gone. The guy had just fueled up. It's a Dodge Ram out on the back pad. But anyway, I put like half a gallon in to see if it was out of gas. It started up and I drove it in. So that's a reminder it needs gas. We're going to do the water pump and thermostat on this 2000 Modena. I might make an independent video of it as well as have it in my day in the shop. So I apologize if it's repetitive. But I got to do a DVI on this. It needs wipers. So... all right, let's get started. Some of the work happens from underneath, some happens from the interior. Now, some of the work happens from under here, as I mentioned. Mechanical adjustment on the serpentine belt. There's an AC belt's got to come off so you can get to your pulleys up top and stuff. This panel up here, it's hard to see from down here, but that comes out so you can work on the rest of it from up top. So we're going to undo the... I don't remember if you have to take the alternator off. I got to look back at the forum instructions, but this thing also has some oil leaks and stuff too. So, like every good Ferrari, it turns into a big snowball. And I got 35 hours in it so far, but I'm not going to get paid till I guess it's done. I'm supposing, but it's not going to be done after the water pump and thermostat because there's a problem with the AC, a problem with high RPM performance, and there was something else too, I think, a noise or something like that. But I'll probably work on it a couple days this week and still not get paid for it, I'm guessing, unless I'm gonna have to make them pay me for it. I can't afford to keep doing this. That's not my car, so why do I keep working on it for free? So I gotta get paid. That's what I'm saying. This is not touching. I'm not sure if it's supposed to, if there's something missing off of it. It might be just for when the belt flexes or something. Adjustment for that's right here. I'm gonna pop them belts off of there. That's what we're shooting for up there. There's another belt going up to the power steering, I think. We'll see where the adjustment is for that one. Don't worry, we're gonna find them all. There is a some timing cover bolts, little tiny Allens. I'm gonna get what I can from underneath. My plan is to get what I can from underneath and let it off the lift and roll it back. The rest happens up top. I'll do everything I can from up top, put it back on the lift, and button it up underneath. Seems like the way to do it, I would think. I also noticed too that there's a broken, like this hose, there's a bracket here. It's not attached to anything. I don't know where it was, but we might have to sort that out. I'm not sure what this is for. It's another pipe. There's a lot of standoffs and spacers and stuff. I did these tubes and things last time to get it to hold coolant. Now that it's holding coolant, we know it's not circulating. Probably has a thermostat that problem, but we're going to do the water pump and thermostat. Kill two stones with one bird. The impellers do go bad on the water pump, especially when they sit like this one's been sitting. So we're going to be cautious and just knock them both out. You got to get in there to do the same repair either way, basically. I don't think I have to take this bracket off because it's not in the way. Yeah, there's a lot of little idlers around. I'm not sure what they go to, but they don't look like they even touch anything, and pretty strange. That's Luigi and Mario, not me. Now we got to take some stuff out of here. I might be able to just leave the seats in here, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. It's 4 Allen bolts to get the seats out, and the seat belt bolts in here. I took the covers off right up there. They pop right out of there. I might not need to really take the seats out. I mean, that seems like a lot of room for an old guy like me. I'm pretty nimble. I'm not that old yet. I think if that's all the way forward and that's all the way forward, I think it'll be all right. I don't think I really need to. The seat belt might be a little bit of a hassle. If I can pull that and get it to stay out, that would be great. But I think I'll survive. Phillips screws, looks like they've been in and out a bunch of times too. It's a Ferrari, so you work on it and fix it more than you drive it. The smart people don't drive them at all. They just put them in museums, tell people they own one. Sorry, Ferrari owners. They're cool cars, trust me. I'd love to have one, but I wouldn't unless I had loads of money and I could buy a new one and pay someone else to fix it. I don't want to work on them. That's why I don't work at Ferrari. I think Ferrari also charges like $400 or $500 an hour and pays their mechanics like 80 bucks an hour or something like that. But that's all here, neither here nor there. Let's get some Phillips screws, move the seats forward, and see if we can do this without taking them out. I'm game to try anything. I'm gonna take these. Uh-oh, that's not threaded in nothing. That's terrible. I figured out how the other side comes apart. There's some missing screws and some broken plastic and all, but that side cover, the seat belt's got to come out of your way because the seat belt goes through that panel, and you either got to detach it. Even if you take it off from the seat, it doesn't fit through the slot in the B-pillar, so B-pillar trim. So you got to take the assembly off the floor, I'm guessing. But we'll see. I got some more screws to get out of here. And you can see these screws are pretty heavily worn. The car allegedly only has 10,000 miles on the clock at least, but wouldn't be surprised if someone drove it for a while with the speedometer disconnected. But anything's possible. Could be 10. If it was 10,000 miles, it should have been apart a lot because it's broken and missing hardware and all kinds of cool stuff going on. Now this panel's got to come off of here, and that's why this has to come off. It's underneath it. This is just popped on. All push clips. Might need to get some of those. This little cover snaps in place over the seat belt retainer. Put all my hardware down in here for the stuff that comes off first. I'm going to take this latch off of here. 13 millimeter. Yeah, it's easy. Pops right off of here. And that's a bit. There it is. Now some of the plastic pins are old, so they're gonna give up the ghost before they let go. So we'll see if we have some of these. I know I have some. I don't know if they're the right ones, but some of them stay in the car, some of them break, some of them pull out of the plastic. Kind of strange, but someone's backing up. Now there's a sensor to unplug, and this clip off of here, and the pin comes out. You can get this whole apparatus out of your way while you work. I think that's how I'm going to do it. Really tiny stuff, I'll keep my magnetic tray instead of putting it on the carpet. Belt fits right out of there. Look at it, it came out on its own. One electrical connector, and I can put all this on the seat and out of my way. All right, the connector is down. It goes through here. Same on the other side, the yellow wire. So it's a little small. The pins and the wires are small. You want to be careful. But this little catch up top, and then it releases. There's a white piece on this side. Don't mess with that. That's right here. It looks like it comes apart from this side, but it comes apart from the other side where this little catch is. So now that's out of the way, safe and sound. It's going to be a lot easier to work. A couple more Phillips screws and those 213s. I think this panel comes off. Then there's a metal panel behind that. I went to find out if this 13 fit on these bolts or not. They're not tight, so that's cool. Helps me out. I can just spin them out. Who needs power tools? I wonder if those Torx are tight. Let's see. I thought they were Phillips at a glance on this cargo net, but they're either Allens or Torx. Probably Allens, because that Torx didn't fit. It felt like it did. You guys tell me what you see. Torx? I think it's a Allen. Could be a stripped out Torx. I know one thing. I gotta find something that'll fit. I gotta find something that'll fit because that feels like it's tight. Kind of like this. I can pop this latch out of here. Get it out of my way. See what I got that'll fit that. 3mm. I think that's it. It's sloppy in there, but that's a bummer. I'm guessing this was never worked on by a Ferrari mechanic its whole life, because a Ferrari mechanic would grab the exact tools they need and know what all the sizes were ahead of time, and everything would be done clean, and that is not at all what I'm seeing with this poor car. And I don't have any idea what I'm doing either, so that doesn't help. We're gonna figure it out though, and that screw might be cross-threaded. That's why it's not bottomed out, but it's tight. So that'll be helpful. Oh yeah, it's a problem. These are my engineer pliers on Amazon, and they work great for this kind of thing. That's the front of this is designed for strip screws and stuff. Now that I got it loose, maybe it'll spin out with this. Yeah. This Ferrari stuff, it's easy. I don't know how this is held in, but it seems happy where it's at. I hope I don't have to take the center console out and stuff. I'm gonna try without doing that. Another snap-in panel. This car, the paint's pretty rough, and these are soft. They're not gonna hurt the paint anyway, but if it makes you feel better, put a blanket or something up there to lay all your parts on, protect the paint. Let's see here. I think we're just about out. That's our panel back there. We gotta get the other side loose. Look at that big old access panel now, man. It's gonna be easy. This engine's gonna practically be in my lap. Oh. Put that up there. 10mm. A bunch of them. That's been off before too. All the bolts have evidence, if you're like Inspector Clouseau. I'm gonna speed this one up. It's gonna happen real fast. Boom, it's right there. It's a big deal. What is the big deal? Looks to me like the fluid I'm seeing down below is power steering. It's hard to say for sure. Allen, and I'm guessing there's another one somewhere else to get this belt off. Let me spin this nut loose first, just in case this little bit of extra tension will help. What was that, 19 you think? 17 you think? Okay, try that. Oh, this is gonna be fun leaning on. You're doing the whole time you work like this, you're doing a push-up. So that's pretty cool. Getting a workout. It does have a keyway. There's two bolts down here I can see. And it looks like they're in slides. I'm hoping these are the only two because I can't see anything else. And there's a 10 right here that should adjust it and let me get a little slack. Ooh, it's a nice snug fit. Oh, someone's already replaced the water pump.
It looks like it.
Is that grease?
Yeah.
What the
That's
hell?
what that looks like.
So, you crazy Italians. You guys are crazy. All right, water pump. Some kind of a nut or something. What's that supposed to be? That's not a thermostat. And there's a belt in there. $750. It's party time up in here apparently. I guess it's a kit. What do you guys think this is? Anello Tenuta front CPL sealing ring. We'll figure it out. Alright, the Bomba de Agua looks right. I don't know what this stuff is here, but it's everywhere in there. Some kind of sealant, I guess. It's got an O-ring in there. Oh, I need the thermostat too. I hope they got me the thermostat. It wasn't in the box. You guys don't have any work to do, man? What the hell? Crazy. And when I get done, my front delts and chest are gonna be pumped. Hell yeah. Gonna be getting buff. But I seriously do have to lose a little weight, getting chubby. I watch the videos and I'm like, oh, look at that fat. Who is that fat guy? Oh, that's me. I do have a big drain pan down there. Let's see how easy this comes out and what that glue type material is they got in there. I'm gonna get a little, I'm gonna tap that with a hammer right there.
It's moving. That's a good sign.
I can't hold my weight up. I want to hold it, tap it while I pull on it, but there's no way to do it unless I can hold up my upper body from the hips forward on over the rocker. You know what I'm probably got to do is sit in the car somehow a little bit more, move all this hardware off the floor. Let's just see one more tricky thing. If I put my arm here.
Something's happening. The links will go to.
Oh yeah, we got a decent gap. It's coming. Just You guys don't have any work to do over there? Get to work. I wonder why the boss didn't want them working on his Ferrari. It would have taken forever. Those of you who've been watching a while will get the joke. It's a lot of work. I was looking for the spectacular coolant splash. Didn't think it would take this long, honestly. But what are you gonna do? What? $750 water pump. The same water pump on like a Pontiac Fiero is like $28. Gotta come up with a new plan.
doesn't matter. Not going back on anyway.
Wow, this thing's 1/4 of an inch out of the housing and still not out. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Perfect. Oh, we're upgrading that bad Johnny to the aluminum impeller. I'm gonna work on the thermostat while the water pumps out of the way. There's 3 bolts up here. Not the easiest to get to, but we'll see what we can do. The ones back here, I think I'll get that one first while the housing is stationary still. I'm hoping I don't have to disconnect the hose, but we'll see. The washer's not on this bolt. There's a washer on the other one. This should be the last one, I think. Listen, man.
I'm gonna have to try it. I'm gonna have to try it with the cap off.
We do have the thermostat and the gaskets here, so that's pretty cool. Like a well-oiled machine. Oh, look, I found the washer too, right here. Everything's coming up roses. It's a tiny little metal shim. Not really even a washer. Not enough meat on it to call it a washer. Oh man, there's 4 bolts on this thing. You lunatics over at the Ferrari plant, what are you guys doing, man? If there was 3 bolts, it would have been easier than I expected. But since there's 4, it's just as I expected. I'm guessing I should have put this in while I had the manifold off, but I didn't know it needed it at the time. I can't believe there's another one back here. Holy moly. Give me the torch. I'm gonna pull the hose off just to try to get some more room to get to that last bolt. It's kind of crazy, but we'll do what we gotta do. Ow! Hit our funny bone. Reposition my my body. Got a different ratchet. Now I'm trying to feel where the Allen bolt is back there. Not easy, but we'll get it. Actually had the tool in there, turned the camera on and knocked the ratchet out. So that's cool. Once you break it loose, luckily, turns the rest of the way by hand pretty well. If you drop it going back together, you're gonna be sad because I'm not sure if you'll ever find it again. It looks like a 6mm screw. That's how I'm gonna have to put it back in with the bolt in the housing already. Now I'm no Ferrari expert, but that doesn't look right. Anybody else see a problem? Oh, that looks like it's upside down. So I'm gonna have to make sure whether it's supposed to be that way or not now. Anybody know? Well, the gasket is tore up and it's upside down. Cool. All right, fun fact. These 2 O-rings, I thought it was kind of weird. Of course, we saw that was upside down. But this little O-ring goes on top. The big O-ring goes underneath. So it's kind of a strange setup. This gasket sticks up higher than the housing does. when you put this gasket in here, I'll show you. So it's kind of sketchy thinking that you're going to set this in there and not crack it, except the housing kind of centers the thermostat, if that makes sense. Uh-oh. My light's turning off. That means it's not plugged in. I need 2 hands. Don't worry, I'll edit that out so you don't get nauseous. Oh my goodness gracious, it's all coming off the rails. You guys are constantly grabbing my nuts. Well, those are bolts technically. You stay. Okay. This thing goes like this. Boy, it's quite the fiasco, is what I'm saying. This goes like this. So when you put it in, you can't really mess it up. And that O-ring that's in there now, see, it almost kind of stay in there, but not quite. But it does keep you. I was worried that this flange might break, but this kind of centers itself. So I'm going to put this towards the front like that. The air bleed, it does have one on top for a screw to, when I fill it, I'll loosen this before I put it all back together, and we'll pressure test it, etc. So it's really a hokey setup, but it's Ferrari stuff. You know, you guys know the deal. Not much else you can do other than that. If I put this up in the assembly first and then drop this on top, it still should pull it so it's centered and won't crack an ear off of this housing, because I'd feel really bad if it broke an ear off the housing. The fun part is going to be getting this bolt to start up here. It might be easier to put the ones in that I can get to easy. I'm not really sure here, because I don't think it's going to come out of the housing. Let's do that. Start some of these. Doing a lot of push-ups today working on this car. It's raining outside, and we're snug as a bug in a rug in here in Ferrari land. That goes back for, that's why I couldn't line it up. When you put your hand in there to start the bolts, you can't see. So you're totally working by braille, which you guys know me. I'm not afraid of doing that. Push up while I work. I got this bolt started just a little bit. Now you can see the thermostat. That's the spooky part for me. I look 9 ways to Sunday because I don't want to break the housing, and that's how it goes. There's 2 different Ferrari diagrams. I pulled them both up. The large O-ring goes in the bottom, small one on the top. Large O-ring on the bottom, small one on the top. And you go into Ferrari, any Ferrari parts house, they all have the same pictures, the part numbers. They even describe them as small O-ring top thermostat, large O-ring bottom thermostat. So, all right, all I gotta do now is take a rest, because I did a set of push-ups right there, and then we'll tighten that thermostat housing up. There's a lot of cars going around Kissimmee with no front bumpers. Everyone's going braless, I guess. Oh man, it's good stuff. This town gets more interesting every year. Everybody should move here. Kissimmee's fun. I'm gonna try to get these bolts tight. I want to tighten them by hand as much as I can. Make sure everything's gonna go the way Mario and Luigi planned. Now, snugging up the other 3, leaving the one that's hard to get to for last. I was able to turn it in by hand quite a ways. So I think we'll be in decent shape here if I can use my tricky braille techniques. I'm holding my right arm on the roof and leaning back into the engine compartment to get a good arm pump. There it goes. Didn't hear any clicking, which is housing cracking. I'm gonna put it tight. Small ratchet, so I don't have to worry about breaking them. But I don't know, it's looking good, man. What do you think? Feeling optimistic. I am feeling optimistic. When you're in Ferrari land, you don't always feel so optimistic. But as much as it's a pain in the patootie, not really as bad as I had feared it might be, if that makes sense. Still not pleasurable. We're making it work. That's all. That's all. And I got this for the clamp. My little gear wrench knuckle buster. Keep it quiet over there, man. We're working on a Ferrari. This is luxury, performance, professional studio settings. We're going 100% all in on this one. I should go back on, I think. Yeah, I guess it is about on, huh? Man, there's not much there. I'm gonna tighten the clamp up with that. Turn the camera off, give it one more shove, it goes right on. And now I can tighten it and feel good about it. There is a 6mm clamp too. Kind of an oddball size. I went over to my Italian tools, there it was. Nothing to worry about. This is the kind of clamp that's not going to cut the rubber as easily as the regular cheap worm clamps. This doesn't have holes. They stamp it without cutting holes into the clamp. Much better clamp than the 60-cent ones. Alright, water pump time. Man, no matter how much I'm trying to get the boss's car done for them, they keep pulling me off of it. A couple little things today I didn't even film because it was just silly stuff, wasting time. This one came in, they said, check the radiator, I think it's leaking, and check my battery cable, it keeps melting. So, off camera I went ahead and fixed it. It had a really bad repair and had a bad connection, and the bolt that it went to stacks up a couple cables, and it was loose. So, for anyone wondering, any kind of large diameter cable, if it has a bad connection, it'll get hot, and then it'll cause problems. So they said they fixed it a few times, but I don't think they ever tightened the end. I'm not sure. But since it does have a leaking radiator, you can see right here, we're gonna do a block test because I put 2 gallons of water in it and they drove it here. So we got a new block test kit because the other one, I took mine out of my toolbox and it crumbled, and then I said, Joe, let me borrow yours, and his crumbled. They don't last long is what I'm saying. I think this is like a 2014 Cadillac Escalade ESV Adonia. Whoops, that's not supposed to be down there. It's supposed to be up there. It's got a lot of miles on it. Let's put it that way. I think what they said was NA because the cable was broken. Now that I fixed it, I can probably see the millage if I push the correct buttons. Service, everything. 191,737 miles on the old girl. And it's a 2011. That's pretty old. Been around the block a time or two. It's gonna get a love rating of 3, by the way. It's not that it's real dirty, but boy, it hasn't seen any love. These cable ends, by the way, temporary. You can use them permanently, but they require a lot more maintenance. They tend to get really bad connections here, and the cables will loosen up. Well, although I did snug them up, so we're all right. Let's set up our block tester kit. Make sure that the block is okay. And the other problem with this too is, and I tried explaining this to them up there, but all we can do is say it's not leaking today. Do this combustion test. The head gaskets are okay right now. The problem is when it's been overheated enough times, the damage has started, and we're trying to see if they've already damaged it or not. It doesn't mean that it hasn't been weakened so that in a month it'll start burning coolant. I can only test to see what it's doing right now. All right, are we on the same page? I hope we are, because I'm tired. I've been working on a Ferrari all day, and I fixed 2 other cars real quick, easy. What these things do is you put it in the cooling system, you put your fluid in, right where this line is fluid level. It doesn't have to be exact, be pretty close, this stuff. And what this does is it sees carbon monoxide and lets you know if the engine is leaking exhaust gases into the cooling system, because the exhaust pressure will be higher than the cooling system pressure, especially with the cap off, and it will push into the coolant and it'll turn this blue fluid yellow. So if that happens, you use this to help pull it in. You force it to pull any gases in the system into this fluid, see if it changes color. So let me pour some of this in here and we'll come back. What we gotta do now is fire it up. If it does have a bad enough head gasket, it will literally change colors on its own. So we'll see. I don't suspect it has a bad head gasket. It runs pretty good. Normally if the head gasket's bad, you put water in it, you start it up, it'll misfire. But we like to do this test just in case, so nobody's really sad if something goes wrong. Sometimes there'll be a problem when it's cold, and when it heats up it'll stop doing it. Sometimes when they heat up they get worse. If it does have a compromised head gasket, it just depends on the spot that determines whether it's worse cold or not. And I didn't even make that rhyme on purpose. I'm gonna let it run a few minutes. At least I know it has water in it now. And I know the Ferrari's going to be fixed because of the thermostat being upside down. That makes me real happy. The boss will be even happier. When we do get the Ferrari running, we got to check the AC. And something about a noise going down the road, but it doesn't have a tag on it, so I'm not taking it on the road. I'll let one of the guys up front do it. I'm just going to let this run about 5 minutes. If it doesn't show something, and it needs a radiator and the head gaskets are okay today. I'm not a big seller of this test. A lot of the guys sell them every time they find a coolant leak. But in my experience, I've been doing this a long time. If you don't get any misfiring when you start it up after filling the cooling system, it's probably okay. I hope I didn't say it more than 3 or 4 times. I've had them where the coolant's low like this. Fill it up, you start it up, and it pushes the coolant back out of the bottle because there's compression in the cooling system. It saves everybody time and money at that point. You know, you need an engine. When an engine's been severely overheated and hurt the head gasket, there's all kinds of other things going on too. Lane split with no exhaust on his motorcycle. Cool. It's not legal here like it is in California. Alright, I flapped long enough. Head gasket's good. Now we'll see if they want us to do the radiator or not. Now, just between us, I did put a little tiny bit of RTV smear on there, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. We don't want it hard to get off next time. We just want to reduce our chances of having an issue. I'm going to get me a support implement, which I think I put it away. Let's do this. Put a couple of bolts on here, then I'm going to get my love hammer. Now the O-ring is pretty freaking tight in this thing. That's why I had a hard time getting it out, and that's why it doesn't even want to go in either. That O-ring, she's a snug fit. That's why I don't think I needed to put the RTV on there. I did it because, well, you know, I don't want to have to do this again. I am going to pressure test it before I put it all back together. Once I get the cooling system sealed up, which won't be much longer. Wait here, I'll be right back. Right now it's like a 1/16 away. So I'm going to get the power tools real carefully and walk it in the rest of the way, gently going around crisscross pattern. look up the torque specs on that. Now that little bit of RTV also helped. I can see it ooze out just the teeniest little bit. Oof. 89 inch-pounds. I couldn't find it. That's what I'm going with. I had to get the Woodruff key or keyway from the other water pump. I can't find it. I jammed a magnet around in here to make sure it didn't go down a timing belt area. It's probably under the car somewhere. So before I get too crazy, I gotta look for it and find it. I was figuring I'd button all this up, pressure test the cooling system, then I gotta push it forward, lift the car up, I'll button everything up underneath and look for it there. I'd kind of like to find it just in case, but I figured I would button up this pair of steering belts. A little bit of a nuisance. I definitely want to get this out of the way so I don't have to think about turning this little bolt for 15 minutes and it'll be over with, right? Everyone's got this place in their mind they have to get to where they feel like they got past something troublesome, and this is it. Once I get this belt about right, I'll tighten these two Allen bolts. Found it. And now I got on the lift, I might as well put the belts on. Get that stuff done. Not really tons of room between the pulley and the AC compressor, but the belt's tight and the pulley doesn't touch the compressor pulley, but it's close, boy. Let me spring you in and show you. It's pretty close. I wonder if the belt could be like one size shorter maybe, but I can do these without taking the interior back out of the car. Not too big of a deal, but I'd rather not have to take it back apart. This belt does not go on top because that would defeat the purpose of this. This has got to be for like, because these things spin like 8,000 RPM or something, 7,800 RPM. So I'm thinking this is so the belt doesn't expand or something like that. I know they do that on other engines that rev high. I think it'll be alright. I'm calling okay. Calling an audible. Some people talked about setting belt tension by tone. So you're supposed to have like a sound device and you're supposed to go like this. See what kind of sound it makes and adjust it for that. That's pretty funny. Only a company like Ferrari could come up with something so silly, because humidity and temperature all affects that frequency, I would think. No expert, but that might actually be even a little tight, but not crazy tight. I can still move it a bit, so we're good. I got a new belt with the water pump kit, so let's put that on. The belt I took off, Bando Rib Ace, made in the USA, and this belt is Daco, made in Italy. It's a 1220, this one's a 1216, so this will be a tiny bit shorter. As long as it fits on there, I'm happy with that. Let's use an Italian belt on an Italian car. Oh, needless to say, that belt made in Italia didn't fit. It was too short. So I put the USA made belt back on. It's new anyway. Oh, Bill is calling it quits for the day. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Quitters never win and winners never quit.
That's right.
That's it, I quit. See you in the morning.
That's what I told him in AA. I said, I'm not quitters.
AA is for quitters. That's kind of true. Needless to say, USA is the best fit. Alright guys, shop is buttoned up. Ferrari is on its way back together. We're gonna vacuum fill it in the morning and test it for leaks. And if everything's A-okay, finish buttoning up that interior, fire that thing up, see how the AC works. So thanks for watching today's video, guys. I wish it was more productive. We did a couple things. We got a lot of Ferrari stuff done. It's going to mostly be a Ferrari video today. So torque the like button before you head out if you got anything from this video. Subscribe if you're new here and you just found the channel. We're getting a lot of new subscribers. I really appreciate that support. 800 subscribers the past 28 days, the most I've ever gained in 28 days, so that's awesome. All the effort is paying off thanks to you guys. I hope I see you in another video more than anything, because you're awesome.